everybody? Welcome to night number 2. And I mean, you thought last night was good. I mean, guys, we're just going to keep pushing this train forward, right? That's what it's all about. So let's go ahead and jump into this.
Woo! All right, and some of you guys got your pledges up. Somebody even got a workout in today, which is pretty awesome. So we're so proud of you. Let's do a quick review. I'm going to come on closer to you here. Did you do your commitment pledge? We saw that Nancy and Edgar and Tara and Adam and Caitlin and JT all did theirs. So did you sign it? Give us a yes or no in the comments. Second is, did you do your vision and clarity framework? We saw Caitlin and JT's just a couple of minutes ago. We want you to share it with each other and share that in the group too. If you don't want to post your whole screenshot, just yes, I did it. Did you use the well in the cup? We told you that was like the $1 million piece of knowledge that we have really put into play in our relationship. And have you laid out your meal plan? We gave you guys some great stuff there. And then did you download the fitness app? Hint, hint, we can see if you have or have not, and it's been sent to your email. So make sure you guys do that.
All right, guys. Well, along those lines as well, if you did download the app and you got a chance to do the workout today, I know Edgar did. I got to see that he posted that up. That's awesome. So guys, I just want to give a quick little overview of expectations, right? Because the key here is to make sure that everything that you're doing is actually working for you. And so I know I made mention of this last night, but in lieu of the fact that we get to see you rate the workouts and rate the difficulty of the workouts, there is something specifically that I am looking for each and every time somebody does workout. And I want to make sure that person is rating it at the very least, a 7 out of 10, right? So that should not just be somewhat hard. That should be hard or really hard. Or best case scenario, extremely hard. And if you're not hitting that rating, then now I want you to just take a step back and reflect a little bit on why. Yes, of course, it's the first time you maybe have done that workout, so you didn't know what to expect. Maybe you don't know what your weight load should be. And so as you go through this more and more, you start to get a better idea of, especially when a workout is timed, when it's timed, right? You're doing a set for, let's say, 1 minute or a set for 30 seconds. You get a better sense of, okay, how much weight can I handle? And the key is that you want to handle a weight load that has you reaching that point of fatigue by the end of that set. So if you find yourself being able to complete the full minute and you have, let's just say, for example, 2 to 3 reps left in the tank, then clearly you need to up that weight load.
So good.
And I'm just going to also say specifically on the workouts that you're doing this week, the good news is that if you go through the first time and you didn't reach fatigue, guess what? You're coming back around the second time. And so you should have a good idea at that point of exactly how much your weight loads should be. And so if you guys have any questions about the workouts, for those of you who've gotten a chance to look them over, maybe you considered doing it today, maybe you opened it up and you said, I'm not sure if I'm ready for this. Go ahead and drop your questions in the comments, right? We'll answer them as we go along. But just wanted to share that little piece with you. Now, that being said, guys, tonight, we're going to get deep. We told you last night we were going to give you a little background on our story. And the reason why we do this is because we recognize that the importance of you understanding where we're actually coming from with this stuff. But I promise you, we're not going to bore you with details about ourselves. This is all intended to also educate you along the way.
Yes, so good.
All right. So let's keep in mind, guys, that all of you right now, you are on a journey, or you are going on a journey. And like any journey, right, there are going to be things. Oh, sorry, pull that out.
I don't know what's going on with the video tonight.
I know, it's crazy. It's crazy. I got to get back over to the, let's see, where were they? You know how to do this better than I do. All right.
We may have to do this. All right, a little bit of tech support here, guys.
Yep.
Teamwork does indeed make the dream work. All right, we'll just keep it there. I think that probably works pretty good. Is that cool, or you want to make it bigger, Mike?
Doesn't matter to me. As long as they could see, then we're good.
I think that's good, right?
All right, that should do the job.
Oh, no, that's not good at all. Hang on one second. I am so sorry.
Don't worry, guys. See, this is the beauty of doing all this stuff in live time. You never know what's going to come up, but the thing is that, you just keep going. And we're all friends here anyway, so
it's so true.
Good. You're just not used to using my computer.
I'm really not. Why is this not doing this like this for me?
All right, well, at this point, let's just go from here and
we'll just rock it along. Yeah, doesn't work. Just go from current. We'll go. We'll close that. We're good. All right, here we go.
All right, guys.
You're getting the tease of these pictures. Yeah, go over here. No. Yeah, that way. All right. Who are those people?
All right, guys. So we know and understand this journey, and we know and understand this journey because we've been on this journey ourselves. As you can see, I mean, most people see us today and they just assume that, oh, like you must have always looked like that. And you could clearly see that we did not. I mean, I had always been into fitness, but that being said, I mean, I really didn't understand how to tie all the pieces together. You know, like I was that young meathead bodybuilder kid who still continued to drink as much as he wanted to drink and eat as much as he wanted to eat and figured just working out would get it done. And you see, you know, Corey Beth didn't start off like Corey Beth. So that being said, guys, you know, we understand the journey. And the thing is that we've also taken many other people along this journey, right? And the best analogy I could give is it's like a Sherpa, right? But we are like your fitness Sherpas, right? They know the way up the mountain. You do not just show up to the mountain first time, not knowing the path, right? Not knowing when it's time to rest, how much to pack, exactly what you need to take along this journey without a Sherpa. I mean, nobody has successfully done that. So the key here, guys, is to lean on us. And that's what we ask people to do is you lean on us because we know the journey. We know what's going to happen probably long before you even expect it to happen. And that's a powerful tool. So
we're going to take you guys all the way back.
All the way back.
All the way back to one of our very first dates. And that's actual pictures from those first dates. That's crazy. So we didn't start from a healthy place. And Mike is going to share a little bit of where he came from. For me, the struggle that I've been through mentally, emotionally, physically, yes, we have not always looked the way you've seen us today. And I think that's so important. So why don't you kick us off, you handsome young author, you.
Yeah, so this was the picture from when I was doing my book signing, and it was very early on in our relationship, and I invited you to come, and you respectfully decided to come and show up
2
and
weeks
support
in.
me. I know, it was really, really early. But, you know, my story started even long before that. And, you know, guys, I started off in just a really bad relationship, right? I'm just going to throw it out there. I started off in a really bad relationship. And it was one in which I always felt like I was constantly fighting this uphill battle. And the thing was that, you know, I felt really good about what I was doing. Like I always felt good about the fact that I was involved in fitness, you know, and I love the fact that I had gotten, you know, involved really early on with natural bodybuilding. And it was like, that gave me kind of a drive, something to do to help bring my learning up, right? To help me understand what I would be doing in terms of work and understand people's perspective. So that being said, you know, the thing that I wanted most is somebody to support me along my journey, somebody to be with me. And I was always really good until I got home. And, you know, that's when I was faced with total indifference about the things that I was doing. You know, I was eating my own meals. I was on my own schedule. There was literally like no support. And I wanted that support along the journey, you know, and I didn't need this individual. I didn't need her to care as much as I cared. I wouldn't expect that of anybody. But just care a little bit. And to not have that really made it a big time struggle for me. And I contended with this for 4 years. I mean, I was constantly in and out of, hey, I'm going to get ready for a competition. And, you know, I was really pumped up about it, and indifference, you know, and that was tough to deal with. And so for me, what happened is my little journey was, although I was all in on this journey, I would show up to these shows, right, thinking that I was primed and ready to go. And I would step on stage and like, I would never break the top 4. In fact, I remember the first time I ever stepped on a bodybuilding stage, out of 8, I think I took 7, you know, and this trend continued for me time and time again. And I knew what part of the problem was. I knew that part of the problem was that I was always fighting this uphill battle and I didn't have any of the support that I really, really needed. And the only time I finally did break out of that top 4 was when there were 4 guys in the class, and that was it. So it was a struggle. And the thing that I came to realize though was that if something didn't change, I was going to be stuck. Like I was going to be stuck in this same place. I was never going to advance, you know, and all I needed was just somebody to take my hand and say, hey, I'm with you here. Like you can lean on me a little bit. But I was literally doing this 100% on my own. And so I needed somebody who would have a vested interest in my success. So what I had to do at the time was I had to seek out other fitness professionals and other coaches. And those became the people that I leaned. And I eventually ended up hiring my dream coach. This was a guy who, you know, I read about him in the magazines. I took down all his information. I mean, I went and I applied it, got really good results, but I knew that I needed somebody like that in my corner. And if I could have him in my corner, then it would change everything. And he would give me the education that I needed, the direction that I needed, and obviously the support that I needed. And so as far as a plan went, well, the plan was really simple. It was like, keep doing what I'm doing, but now seek the support and the help from others because I wasn't getting it where I needed to. And what happened from that point forward was, yes, I did start to see a little bit more success, but what also happened was within the confines of that relationship, the gap just grew larger and larger. You know, I now had a team and a solid support system, but like this only led to a greater degree of disconnect between me and this person that I was with at the time, you know, and even though my results got better, like the relationship, it got worse and it just progressively got worse. And eventually, by the grace of God, it ended. and yeah, but thankfully the relationship that came next would completely change the game for me. And my results thereafter were a direct relationship to that change in relationship.
Woo, woo! Y'all know what he's talking about. And what about you guys? I'm sure that has been a place where maybe you've been in your life, or maybe you've been, you know, grateful enough to not be in that place, you know, being supported or not being supported. And again, if you don't feel supported in your marriage right now, like please don't put that in the comments, but kind of like internalize that a little bit, because I think that it's important not only for us to recognize in ourselves that maybe you're not always 100% supportive of your spouse's goals, or they're not always 100% supportive of yours. I just think it's a really great perspective for all of us to have, because that is one of the keys, right? That gives you the mental, emotional support that you need to go out and crush your goals. So I was starting can we actually make ourselves a little bit bigger here? Is that cool?
Go for it.
I don't know what's going to happen over here with the video, but we're gonna, that looks terrible. All right, guys, we're gonna figure this out together tonight. It's gonna be pretty cool. All right, so you saw that cute little picture of me. I'm just gonna take that out, and that looks terrible too.
I'll fix it.
All right.
Don't worry.
Mike works on that. Thanks, baby. I was stuck in really bad habits that I just couldn't escape. I was all about the sugar craving, the binge eating. Okay, hang on. And Caitlin's saying that her last boyfriend sparked an eating disorder for me, totally toxic. So I feel you, girl. Like, that's rough. That's so rough. Me, I was sugar craving, binging, and I will tell you exactly what I was binging on. It was animal crackers, mint chocolate chip ice cream, Oreos, Tootsie Rolls, and peanut M&Ms and Reese's Pieces. I mean, no wonder I had IBS, cystic hormonal acne, and everything else. And for me, you know, it got to the point where I think we can be candid here. I did attempt purging. I sucked at that too. But I always was like, all right, I'll just exercise my way out of it. Like, I'll just go to the gym more. I'll just do the elliptical more, right? I'll just kill myself on that elliptical, and then I'd come home hungrier, and the whole cycle would repeat again. And so at the end of the day, what I really realized at that point was like, I just had zero concept of what I was putting in my body. You know, that picture of me, like in the pink shirt at, you know, close to 30 pounds heavier than I am now, was Mike's Hard Lemonades, because like that was cool back then, right? I don't know, give me a Mike's Hard in the comments if you guys have ever, you know, binged on those. But it's when I really started to think about this whole, like, I'll just do it later. I'll just do it next weekend, next month, next year, right? If there's the next New Year's, it was like, later never worked, right? Workouts later, diet later never worked. And so really at the end of the day, it was never really important enough to give up my current situation to start that plan. And it was the diets, the grapefruit diet, the Montefiore Hospital diet, where you ate hot dogs because that's healthy, right? Did it all. I'm sure you girls can relate. Tara and Caitlin are relating. 2 to 3 hours of cardio a day. You got me beat there, but it's crazy. And at the core, what I really realized, guys, is I just believed I didn't deserve to be fit, right? I would pass by the high school locker room, gym room, and I'd see everybody in there working out and they looked different than I did. So I was like, okay, I don't belong in there. And then I got to college and we had this beautiful gymnasium with this 2-floor gym. And I'd walk by there and be like, I don't belong in there. Like, where do I belong? And so there was this big hole in me where I just felt like I lacked any direction. I lacked any desire. And at the end of the day, worth to really want to go and pursue fitness goals, because in the real back of my mind, I wanted to do modeling or acting or something, but I didn't look anywhere near like I could ever even achieve anything like that. And so I had never done anything in fitness before. I was expressed that I wanted to. I told my parents I wanted to work out, but then, eating Nestle Toll House cookies didn't necessarily support that declaration. And so when I finally said, after doing New York Sports Club and Club Fit and Planet Fitness, and then finally stumbling upon Pure Physique, believe it or not, my family was like, you don't need a personal trainer. My teaching colleagues were like, why are you getting a trainer? Like, you don't need that. Like, you're fine. You're good enough. And I'm like, good enough. I have IBS. I have narcolepsy. I got cystic hormonal acne. My students were like, what's wrong with your face? And I'm like, I don't even know. Right. But like the pain inside, it hurt. And that takes a big toll on your confidence. Right. And so in that, I had so much fear and uncertainty about even starting on something because I failed at everything else in the past. I yo-yoed down. I came back up. I went down again. I came back up. And I was honestly looking at Mike. I was so unsure that I wanted to be that disciplined because I thought it would be not fun. And I thought like my life would end and people wouldn't want to hang out with me. I'd lose my friends. I'd lose all the things that were kind of unique about me, like hard shell on top of my mint chocolate chip ice cream, like 5 scoops of ice cream, that was very unique about me. I just thought that, I don't know, I couldn't do it. And so what I really realized is that I did have to take action, and the only way to take the right action was in the hands of a professional, right? I'd gone at it on my own 9 years of diets, which statistically is not even that much, but I wasn't doing it on my own. I wasn't figuring it out. I was lost and lacking that confidence and worth. It was like, you know what? I'm spinning my wheels and I'm getting nowhere. And so I had to not just find somebody who could help me. I wanted to find somebody who had done it. And so in that, I knew that Mike had gone ahead of me and achieved this. I mean, when he said bodybuilding, the first time I came to your apartment, there was a picture on the wall of this incredible bodybuilder. And I was like, who's that? And he was like, it's me. And I'm like, really?
That should tell you guys something about the ups and the downs. And that's the thing. It's like, it's kind of just like social media, especially with bodybuilders. It's like everybody puts out their highlights, right? So, at that time, really social media wasn't huge like it is now, but it was common. Like you'd have that picture out there, or I'd have that picture in the gym and people would be like, wow, that's amazing. And yeah, I'd be unrecognizable because of the shifts and the changes. And so to just bring it back to that original picture, guys, I asked Corey Beth to come to the book signing. And afterwards we said, you know what, like, let's go celebrate. And so I want to pull this back up for a second.
I just didn't want to look at this picture anymore.
I know.
We were having nachos and cheese at Cunningham's, if anyone knows that in Mayapack, with beer. I think I had a pina colada with a strawberry daiquiri because, like, why not double the sugar? And that's a cigar in my right hand. So we were the picture of health, you guys.
Yeah, and listen, at that point, I'm sitting across from the table also with a very big cigar in my hand. In fact, at that time, I was at about 14 cigars a week, believe it or not.
That's so insane.
I know.
Such a waste of money.
But I do remember, like, when we sat there, right, I'm sitting across from you, and this is where it was a major shift for me. And this is where everything really, really changed, guys, because I sat there and I said, you know what? I know what I want. Again, I knew in my mind that several months from that time, I intended to get back on the bodybuilding stage, right? I wanted to get back into that condition. I loved how I felt. But now I just started this brand new relationship, and I had to break it to her that this was the direction that I was going to go. And so as we're sitting there looking across from her, we have our nachos and our burgers and our beer and cigars. And I said to Corey Beth, I said, you know, all this right here, just so you know, in a month, it's over. And devastation. She thought I was breaking up with her already.
Legit.
We literally like had just started dating, and I was like, this, and what do you mean? I was like, oh, well, you know, I'm going to prepare for a bodybuilding show again. And I said, you know what though? I mean, honestly, I was like, I think you should do it with me. And
okay, wait, pause there, because this is the first time in my life, you guys, that someone had invited me along for the journey, right? Any previous relationship I had been in, it was like their thing and my thing. They did this, I did that. And it was like, darn, I wish I could go to the gym and look like them. But there was never a declaration, hey, this is what I'm doing. And there was definitely never an invitation. So literally when Mike said that, it's like my heart went from like broken to like beating and joyful, because I'm like, oh my gosh, you want me to do this with you? Like, hell yeah, I'll do it with you. I mean, that sounds like so much fun. I mean, it sounds kind of scary and we got to be very disciplined, but like, this is everything I've been looking for. Like, I just felt like I would have been an idiot if I didn't take you up on that.
Well, and it was everything that I was looking for, because the only thing I was seeking was just somebody to be supportive in the journey, you know, and that's what I needed, was that person who's going to be by my side. And, you know, to be honest with you, even had Corey Beth said, you know, I really don't have a desire to do that, but like, I'll be there with you. Like, I'll do this with you. Then that would have been good enough for me. And we kind of told that story last night when we talked about Christian and Annalisa, which that was their story, you know? I mean, Christian would refuse to step on a stage, right? He always felt like, it's not for me, but he still did it with her every step of the way. And he reaped a lot of benefits from it, obviously, as well. So, you know, that's the thing, guys, is like for both Corey Beth and I, we took this very long, hard road, right? I mean, for me, it was like 4 to 5 plus years. For Corey Beth, it was 8 plus years of just doing things the hard way. And even though we can both sit back and say, yes, at times we both saw some success, we ultimately know like we did not achieve our very best. And once we finally reached this point, I mean, the end result was amazing. I mean, we got started on this journey. We even went on vacation and we, you know, did water shots together. We shared in the meals together because we were around a lot of other people, friends, family, who were not on the journey with us, but we had each other, and that made it all right. And it not only made it all right, but I mean, for me, I was able to hit the best condition I had ever been in. And I believe for you, the same could
that was pretty obvious.
Said. And then the cool part is that we decided to do it again. You know, we did it again afterwards, the next season, and things just got better because we got better. We got better at the process. And that's another point that we want to drive home is like, no, it wasn't perfect right off the bat. But you know what was really different for me was having somebody who's like, oh, wait, these are the numbers we have to follow. I could whip something up that's going to be tasty and not taste like cardboard and make this enjoyable for the two of us. And it was like she opened me up to a whole new world of how we can do this thing, how we could achieve these results that we were really driven to achieve, but do it in a way that did not feel like we were depriving ourselves or, you know, making it harder than it needed to be.
That's the beauty of a team, right? What he brings to the table, what she brings to the table, it's different. And that's what's beautiful. We get so caught up sometimes in focusing on our own shortcomings. It's like, all right, you were so good at the numbers and the macros and what we had to hit. And I was so good at being kind of creative. I mean, really for the first time in the kitchen, Nestle Toll House cookies. I think you just like break those apart and put those on a baking sheet. Now I had an opportunity, which is of course the way I looked at it, to say, hey, how can we make this fun? And so Mike went from eating boiled chicken and hot sauce to muffins and pancakes and all these really fun protein-based things that made it really awesome.
And I taught you about peanut butter.
He taught me all of, are we gonna tell that story now?
No, I think we have to. Oh, God. All right, guys. So
you're just gonna really get an idea for the fact that, like, yes, you see like pictures and maybe us in the gym or at church or wherever, like Guys, I was clueless. Okay, I'm going to tell the story from my perspective.
Okay.
We're standing in the kitchen. We're probably dating a month. And I'm like, you know what? I know that rice cakes and peanut butter are healthy. I mean, literally on our first date, we went to the diner and all I wanted was challah bread, French toast, and mozzarella sticks. And I was like, oh God, fitness guy over here. I'm like, what are you getting? He's like, egg white omelet with turkey. And I was like, I'll have the same thing. And I was like, this is like, I wanted syrup and butter, you know? And again, we figured that out. But with the peanut butter thing, I was like, rice cakes and peanut butter. So when he came over, I was like, I have rice cakes and peanut butter, right? I'm this like healthy goddess. Well, he literally is taking his rice cake and he has like the tiniest little bit of peanut butter and he like just skims the rice cake. And I'm looking at him like, does this guy not have taste buds? Like, what is that? Me, on the other hand, I got out like my tablespoon and I'm pretty sure I put like 6 tablespoons of peanut butter, possibly half the jar, not exaggerating. And I slapped it onto my rice cake and I was like, see, I'm so healthy, right? This is protein. And I'm like eating it. And little did I know in his head, I mean, what were you thinking?
I was floored, guys. Like, I was like, okay, it's too early in our relationship to actually say this to her.
Smart man.
but the first thing I thought is like, God bless, because if she's actually even maintaining this shape and that's how she peanut butters her rice cake, I mean, like, God bless, because I've never seen anyone be able to do that and maintain some semblance of shape. And I think, though, that does speak, though, to how naive we really are. And listen, yes. I was there, too. As I said early on, coming out of college, I was the guy who thought he could still eat and drink the way he was in college and, just work my way out of it. I thought you lifted your way and crunched your way to 6-pack abs.
Yes.
Right. And so for me,
people still think that you crunch your way to abs.
This is true.
You don't. We'll get into that. But we did it the hard way for so long. And so that being said, like there were such aha moments. And I just want to point out that the expert in anything, guys, was once a beginner. Right. And that's so important for us to drive home because you're here because you need something. You're looking for something. You want something from us and we're going to give that to you and deliver it to you. But any expert started as a beginner. No expert started as an expert. And that definitely was us.
100%. So if you've been struggling, maybe with some of the things that we've covered already. I mean, listen, we know that not all relationships are perfect, right? So maybe you felt like you had support at times, didn't have support at others. Maybe you felt like all the support was there. We just don't know exactly what it is that we're doing. And so what we're encouraging you to do is like, don't go about this the hard way. And the hard way is like, you do this without knowledge. You go after it without expressing your needs to the other person, right? You go at it without understanding your partner's needs. It's a two-way street, guys. You go at it without making the necessary compromises because there were compromises that we had to make. I mean, I remember a big one early on was you really didn't want to give up like our nights at the winery.
Yes.
Like, so we actually had to find a way to make it work. And so for those of you who are wondering, like, do we have to give up alcohol on this thing? I mean, we're going to say initially, like, it's probably best to steer clear of it. But the fact is that you can make things work if you do it the right way. And then maybe you got at it without the full support from your partner. So you went and you did it anyway. Or maybe you've spent years doing the things that just aren't sustainable. So you got a good result, but you couldn't maintain it. Or you spend years just going in opposite directions. So I'm going to do my thing, you're going to do your thing, and that's just what it's going to be. And then in many cases, if you are the person going for it, or you're both going for it in different directions, then you're spending thousands of dollars individually or collectively on all this stuff that isn't serving the both of you.
Yes.
And that is the key here, guys. It's that whatever you do, it has to serve the both of you. You have to come to that agreement. That's why we made agreements last night, right? So we already like knocked that one off the list. Good job. All right.
We're going to uncover your highest self and expose your false beliefs right now, which is actually so exciting. So we said tonight was going to be really heavy on mindset. And we were not joking about that. So I want to make sure before we continue, and Caitlin's asking the winery at St. George.
That was the place.
That's the one. We ended up getting engaged there. Good job, Mike. That was our first date, Caitlin. You picked it. You nailed it. So, we are going to get into mindset because a lot of this does come about from that. And so many of our false beliefs that we bring into now our relationship and our marriage, it's like baggage from the past. And we had a lot of that in the beginning. I mean, we sought out mentorship and coaching. We actually had an NLP coach, that's neuro-linguistic programming. We did a lot of stuff, but it's like we came together both knowing we wanted more, right? And we found that way to make it work. And we knew that we had to get rid of a lot of this false stuff that we were literally like backpacking around. So we're going to be like TSA right now without like, physically touching you, because that's weird. We're going to start to go through your little backpack of baggage that you're carrying around. You may not even realize. And we're also going to find in there's a trophy. We're going to find the trophy. That's like your highest self. We're going to pull it out so you can see it. It's going to be amazing. So get yourself in a comfortable spot. If you want to just pop out of here, we'll go big screen. I'm just liking some of your comments. I'm not on my phone. I'm on the phone with you. So that being said, what I want you guys to do is, in going into this, is we're going to go to highest self. We want to understand what the best version of you is, and we're going to do that right now together. So what I want you to do is close your eyes. If you're sitting next to your partner, that is awesome. So take a big deep breath. We're going to breathe in our nose. We're going to breathe out our mouth. I'm going to close my eyes with you because I want to get into state with you guys. So here we go. Big deep breath in your nose, out your mouth. And what I want you to do right now is I want you to envision, we're visualizing a light coming down from above, shining on you. It's touching your head and it spreads out to your shoulders, your body, your legs, your feet, your arms, and your hands. And it is a warm light of love and nurturing, and it feels really good. Take a big deep breath in your nose. And as you exhale, that light expands and it completely encompasses your body and your partner next to you. I want you to envision it again as you take a big deep breath in, let it go. And as it spreads out, it fills the entire room that you're sitting in right now. And I want you to go back, 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 back to that mountaintop moment with your spouse. That amazing time where you two felt like you were at the top of the world together. It was that time that you decided something, that time that you went somewhere special, that time that you got great news, that time you were celebrating together, and you can start to feel the emotions of happiness and joy. Even thinking about it right now, it almost puts that little smile on your face because you remember vividly that amazing mountaintop moment with your significant other. And it feels absolutely amazing to think about. And I want you to take another big deep breath in your nose, out your mouth. I want you to picture the joy, the goodness, the warmth and celebration that's going on with your partner. You guys are in peak state. It feels like nothing in the world can go wrong in this moment. I don't know if you're standing at the altar, your first child is born. Maybe it's one of your first dates or the first vacations you took together. That incredible and amazing moment that you're just so happy to be in. I want you to take another big deep breath and picture that moment, the two of you together. And you just feel like nothing in the world can come between the two of you. Nothing can go wrong. Everything feels incredible. In fact, the colors just look so vibrant and alive. And we're going to take another big deep breath. I want you to notice what's around you. People, scenery, the room, the outdoors. What does it look like around the two of you? Almost like a freeze frame has happened where you can step out of yourself in this moment and look around at what's going on in the environment around you. And you start to look around and notice the furniture, the trees, the scenery, the people. I want you to really think about the smells, the textures, what you're hearing. Are there any noises there in that moment? Is it the voices of other people? Is there music playing? Are you on a dance floor somewhere? What are you envisioning and visualizing right now in this mountaintop moment? And we're going to take one more big deep breath in your nose, out your mouth. So incredible and amazing. Love this moment. And what I want you to do before we leave this moment in time, I want you to look at yourself, you and your partner, as a team, an incredible and amazing team. Every wrong, every hurt is just washed away from this moment right now. And all you can feel is happiness, joy. You feel so proud to be next to your person. And I want you to look at yourself in this moment and give yourself a name. Name yourself. It can be your name. It can be champion you, Victor you. You could be Xena the warrior princess. You could be whatever you want to be. Give yourself a name in this moment. And we're going to take one more final deep breath. And when I say 5, you're going to open your eyes. And when I say 5, you're going to feel all the love, joy, peace, happiness, and celebration in the world. Get your name and start to get ready. 1, get ready. Here we go. 2, here comes all the joy, happiness, energy, and love. 3, start to get ready. Here we go. 4, here comes the joy. 5, open up your eyes. All right. It is okay because you both just went to different places. All right. Where he went, where you went. I'm talking to the men and the women. I'm sorry. Where she went and where you went, totally different. All right. So I want you to turn to your significant other right now and tell them what you envisioned. What did you envision?
That New Year's Eve, the winery, back up against the bar, when that was the woman came over to us and said, "That right there, what you guys have, you gotta
Bottle
bottle
it.
that."
Oh my gosh. I'm like in tears right now. That's amazing. Mine was our ski trip, Jiminy Peak. And then all of a sudden we were on the dance floor of our wedding because that was amazing. All right. Did you guys have the same moment? If you did, drop that in the comments. That's very, very rare to have that happen. If they were different, drop in the comments. We want to know, where were you guys? Were you on a trip? Were you close by? Were you far away? You gotta close your mouth because you got red teeth. Oh my God, and so do I.
There we go.
That's crazy. Good job. Yeah. All right. Tell us where you were. Where were you? And what was your name? What do you name yourself? You want to share it or no?
Yeah, well, it's been the same when we've done this in the past too. It's always the lion.
Oh, okay. I like that. That's awesome. Want you guys to drop your name in the comments. Okay. And this is really fun. And really, I've had Xena the warrior princess. I'm trying to think of the men that I've had. Spartan. Okay. We've had Rockstar, their name, Badass, their name. There's all different names that people come up with. And I see there's a bunch of you on here. So I want you to drop your names in the comments. What is the name that you came up with? Oh, Caitlin is different. Oh, you had different things. I thought that was your name. All right, let's do that together.
Yeah.
All right, totally makes sense. And yes, you are going to have different moments. Kind of cool to like reminisce around that, right? Pretty amazing. Drop your highest self name in the chat box because we're going to go in. We got to find the opposite, right? Where there's light, there's also dark. Where there's good, there's also bad. And so, oh, Adam, that's not boring.
It's not boring.
That's awesome.
Nope.
We've had a lot of people. It's their name. And
Yeah.
that actually is pretty amazing. So own that. Your name is your highest self, which is so cool. Love it. So we're going to go next to the lowest self. So I want you guys to take one deep breath. This is not everybody's favorite, but it's really important to go into and see where you guys were not operating as your highest self. You had just that not great time, not great moment. Perhaps it was a fight, a disagreement, a time that you're not proud of. And so I want to go there too, because it's really important, guys, that as we go through this challenge together, that you can know, understand, and recognize who you are at your highest and also who you are at your lowest, because we've all been there, right? And so we'll share with you our lowest. It might even be the same thing. So here we go. We're going to close our eyes again. Caitlin is country girl, and I love that. That's awesome. So beautiful. All right. Close your eyes. Big deep breath in your nose, out your mouth. And what I want you to do right now is, with your eyes closed, I want you to look back in the back of your head. Look back, back, back. We're going back. We're going downstairs, and we're going back, all the way back to that time with your partner that you are just not proud of. That time you said that thing, you had that disagreement, and I want you to think about that moment right now. Take yourself back to that exact moment where things came out of your mouth that you did not want to. You said words and things that you were not proud of. And I want you to feel for a moment what that felt like. We're not going to stay here, but I need you to experience right now the emotions that came over you in that moment. And as you start to go there, I want you to notice your breath, thinking about that moment, that time that you really did not like. You didn't even want to remember it. And perhaps it's coming up for you. Perhaps you push this out of your memory. And there it is. And it's okay. But I want you to notice your breathing right now. It might be shallow. Your breath might feel very light in your chest. And it doesn't feel great. But I want you to also frame this moment and step out of yourself and look around what's going on in this space. Where are you? What do you see? What does your partner look like? And what do you look like? Are you yelling? Are you pointing? Perhaps you're alone in this moment, but something just went down and it was not good. And I want you to envision what's around you. What's the environment look like? Can you picture what you were sitting or standing on? What's nearby? Try to feel any textures or notice any textures in the room. Any noise that's going on, music, TV. Perhaps it's just silence around you. And I want you for a moment to experience this emotion where you are at your lowest self. This is not a place you want to revisit. You don't even really want to speak with your spouse about it again, but it's dark and it's there, and I want you to acknowledge it. So take a big deep breath, and I want you to look at yourself in this moment and give yourself a name. This is the lowest version of you in this relationship. This is the lowest functioning piece of you in this relationship. This is you at your lowest self for yourself and your partner. And I want you to name this person. Let that name come up. It could be a name you were called that you didn't like. It could be the name of someone in school that you went through that just was not the nicest to you. And give yourself a name in this moment. And in a moment, guys, I'm going to say 5 and bring you back to the present. And when I do, I want you to feel a release wash over you. I want you to feel this moment fading away from you. The color actually starts to drain right now out of this moment. It turns to black and white. It looks almost like an old Charlie Chaplin film. It's just black and white, and it starts to dissolve in front of you like it doesn't even exist. And I want to bring you back to the present. When I say 5, you're going to feel it pass away and be gone, and all you're going to bring back from it is your name. When I say 5, start to get ready. 1, we're coming back to the present. It's dissolving away. 2, it's starting to fade. You're coming back out of it. 3, you feel a release. It's leaving you. 4, and 5, open your eyes. Not everyone's favorite. Share with your partner where you were at your lowest self.
This one, we might have the same one. Well, actually, we have a few that we could choose from.
We have quite a few.
I'm going to say Farmingdale.
Oh, the bar and the train station. Yeah.
At the train station, you were ready to jump on a train
and leave you.
We were staying at my sister's around the corner.
That's pretty bad.
Too much alcohol. Too much, a lot of things, and for me, like, that's angry Mike. That's angry Mike. Like, that's, yeah.
It's not the best, but listen, it happened, right? Like, you have to identify high you and low you, because they both exist. They exist in you, they exist in me, they exist in him, they exist in all of us. Mine was when we took that trip up to that really fancy resort in Vermont that I had gotten the Groupon for.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, how bad. That was so bad.
Yeah.
Okay. So what is your name? This video is crazy tonight. What is your name in that moment? What is your name?
No, it's Angry Mike.
Oh, wow. Okay. Mine's Seeb. I hate when people put like C and B, like Corey and Beth together, and they like Seeb. It's just yuck. It's like dweeb. What's your name? Drop that name in the comments. Okay. And here's what we're going to do with this, okay? Because there is something that you're going to go and do. Okay, Caitlin, Donna Drunkard. So Donna Drunkard and Angry Mike probably would have had a great time together.
Yeah. We just kept drinking until, head hits the table.
Yes, that's awesome. I love that. Thank you so much for sharing that, Caitlin. I want to honor you for that. Because it's not something that's easy to share, but it exists. And so when we think about this, all of these stories that just came up for you, I had forgotten about the Vermont incident, like that was miserable. But when that comes back up, it exists in your subconscious, right? And so our conscious brain is only a small little percentage of our brain. Our subconscious is constantly at work, recording, taking in information, processing it, trying to make sense of it, and storing memories as they're perceived through our mind. And so what we have to do is be really, really clear in our brain about identifying, like, that's hotness. That's what came up for me being on the wedding dance floor with you. And that's seed, right? And yes, Caitlin, like, those are embarrassing moments. Like, you don't even really want to share them, but you can in a community like this, which is awesome. And so when we go into a conversation, I know this is crazy, with our significant other, like, are you going to bring Country Girl? Are you going to bring Donna Drunkard, right? Are you going to bring Lion? Or are you going to bring Angry Mike? Am I going to bring hotness? That's brand new. Or am I going to bring seed? Who are you bringing to that conversation? Because our subconscious is kind of like a pet, right? It's like a dog. And we have to teach that dog how to go when we say and how to come when we say. And that's your subconscious mind. You constantly have the opportunity and the choice to be able to say, okay, who am I going into this workout as? Am I going in as Sieb, or am I going in? I mean, it used to be badass Corey Beth. Who are you going into that as? Who are you going into your kitchen as? Who are you looking at your meal plan as? Who are you like taking care of your spouse as? Like, if I'm taking care of you as Sieb, that's me at my lowest self, like, I'm going to be terrible to you. But when I'm hotness, this is totally from you. It's like, I perceive this from him. Like, I'm giving him like rubs and massages, and I'm loving on him, right? Like, that's me at my highest self. So here's what we're going to do with that. I'm just going to come back in to share the stream. Thank you. Oh, you're so good. You're so good. All right. So let's go here. And here's what you're going to do with this, you guys. And then we're going to round out tonight. Mike's going to share with you a little bit about your workout, which is going to be amazing. Mike, help me. Okay, here we go. So we did our highest and our lowest self. So that highest you, that's legacy you. All right, now you're going to like this, because legacy is what your grandparents and great-grandparents left for your family. Legacy, guys, is what you're going to leave for your kids, your grandkids, your great-grandkids. So you highest self is you legacy. You lowest self is you dead end, right? That dead ends your relationship, your energy, your intimate life, your fitness goals. That is a dead end. You're not going anywhere from there. And so here's what you're going to do with that. You're going to write 3 letters. I did not give you paper to put these on, because I just want you to either put them in a journal or on lined paper that you have. And the 3 letters go like this. The first letter you're going to write to legacy you. That's highest self you, and you're going to address it. So you would write, for example, Dear Lion, like, you are amazing and strong. You treat your spouse and yourself so well. You put your fitness first. That's so important to you. No matter how busy you get, you still make sure you get your workout in. Even when you're stressed, you make good eating choices. All the things that you admire about that highest version of yourself, you're going to highlight in this letter, and you're going to sign it from you. So Mike would say, from Mike, right? Sincerely, Mike. Second letter is going to be to dead end you. That's lowest version of yourself. So he would write, Dear Angry Mike, like, no more of you in my life. You need to stay where you are. You know, you were there for a purpose. I don't really know what it was, but you existed, and like, now it's time to move on from you. I appreciate that maybe you were trying to protect me in some crazy way, like bringing me into that drunken stupor. But there's really just no place for you. You can come along for the ride, but you got to go backseat. You get to make no choices, no decisions, no nothing. You just stay drunk in the backseat. All right. You be angry in the backseat. And then you're going to sign your name, sincerely, Mike, peace out, Mike, however you want to sign it, it's cool. And then a third letter, and this is going to be a really powerful one. It's from legacy you to dead end you. So again, I'm going to use your example, or let's use Caitlin's. So Caitlin would write, right? This is from Legacy to Dead End. Legacy is going to write, "Dear Donna Drunkard, you are done, sister. No more of you making choices and decisions. You've messed up enough moments. There's only so much of life left, and I'm going to enjoy it with Caitlin. It's going to be amazing and phenomenal. I'm making the choices. I'm driving the ship. I'm in the driver's seat. I'm in charge. Peace out. I'm pink slipping you. I'm taking you off, the charts, the tracks. You're not here anymore." And that's that. And it's like signed country girl. All right. She's going to tell Donna Drunkard, get in the back seat. And that's it. And so you have to do these. And as soon as you do them, guys, I want you to post in the group like 3 letters done. So you got to write 3 letters done. You don't have to share these. These also are not meant to be shared with your spouse. So please don't be like, "Oh my gosh, like I want to like edit what I write, like censor what I'm including in terms of details." No, get it all out. Put what you think in ink, get it out. And it's just for you. Okay.
The only thing that I want to encourage some of you men out there to do is, because I know how this goes, because we are very ego driven and we're like, well, I don't really need to do this. And this is like a little, hokey for me.
Good call.
Guys, trust me, like if you do this, you will feel a weight lifted off your shoulders, because as men, we carry weight on our shoulders all the time and we don't talk about it. We don't tell anyone about it. We just let it sit, right? We let it sit because we can deal with it. And you know what? You can deal with it to some degree, but it's going to feel a heck of a lot better if you are able to let it go. And so to be 100% transparent, when I did this, I was like, all right, I mean, especially because it was my wife encouraging me to do it. I was like, and I was like, all right, like I'll play along. But remember, we said in the beginning yesterday that when we play full out. So if you are going to play along, do yourself a favor and do your wife a favor. Play full out on this. Like, do it, guys, because it's going to make a tremendous difference, not just on your journey, but yours collectively. And that is the whole idea, is that when you guys do this, you can come together. And now what kind of legacy couple are you going to be?
And that's what we're talking about, right? Together, you get to create the legacy. You get to leave the legacy. And I so appreciate you saying that, because I would never think like that, because women love to be creative and we love to write and we love to please and serve and do. And so when I tell you to write the letter, I know ladies are going to write it. Men.
Well, we don't like to express our emotions. I mean, like emotions are not something to be expressed. They're something to be suppressed,
Yes.
At least in our minds. And so I get it, guys. I'm with you 100%, but trust me, like on this one, you're going to be a lot happier for it. And you're going to make your wife a lot happier for it as well, because you're going to show up different. Honestly, both of you are going to show up different. And I think that was for us at different times, like in coaching that we've gotten from other couples, the question that was posed is, how do you want to show up? Like, what kind of wife do you want to show up as? What kind of husband do you want to show up as? What kind of father or mother do you want to show up as? And I can pinpoint many times where I didn't want to show up as that person. I did not want to but I was challenged on it. And I was challenged on, do you really want to show up like that other guy when she gets home? Or do you want to show up like this one? And it's not an easy thing to do, because it requires us to sometimes swallow our ego, right? Put ego aside and to just move forward with doing things differently. And it gets better and easier over time.
True freaking that. And I'm going to say, I'm corresponding to your comments. Caitlin's asking, wait, men have emotions. You're going to discover some of them. And here's the last little bit on this. When you know this, you can't unknow it, right? So you can't walk into a situation anymore and be like, I don't know why I acted like that. No, you were low, like dead end you. Don't be dead end you, be legacy you. You can't unlearn this info. So like Mike said, do the letters, seal them in an envelope. Like, they are cool to go back and read later, because, maybe a year or two, 3 years, for me, it was 3 years later, I did it again. And I was like, oh, wow, this is so different now. So it's awesome to go back and see where you were.
All right, guys. So with that being said, that was deep tonight.
That was super deep.
I mean, like if you thought that was deep, like drop deep in the comments, because that was deep. But again, this is what we're talking about. This is packing your parachute.
We just TSA'd you.
That's right. That's right. So tomorrow, we are inviting you guys to come to the live workouts. Again, there are 2 that are popping off. We got the 7 a.m. dumbbell workout, and then we have the 9 a.m. body weight workout. So if you are able to join us live, we would love to have you there. You guys get a chance to see and experience what it's like on the live stream. It's great because you're going to have your instructor there to actually see what you're doing, to be able to coach you through it, to be there to encourage you. I mean, for those people who, have not been back in a gym, but maybe at one time you were in the gym and you loved going to classes, right? You love that feeling of just the energy in the room. Well, this delivers exactly that, which is phenomenal. If you cannot make the live, we're also going to be dropping you guys into a special group that's within the app, and you will see replays of those workouts dropped as well. So
we're hooking you up.
We are hooking you up big time. You have 3 options for tomorrow, okay?
No excuses.
Option 1, you show up to the live workout. Option 2, you catch it on replay.
Love it.
Option 3, the app itself can walk you through the workout like some of you got to experience today. So 3 options, guys. There is no excuse. Go out, get it done.
Love it.
All right.
Here's what we want you guys to do. This is it. We're going to wrap it up right here. We want you to post your ahas, right? You had some ahas like, wow, I didn't realize I was holding on to that highlight moment or that terrible moment. I didn't realize that my spouse held on to that terrible moment. There may be a moment that you forgot about that really impacted them. Any victories that you've experienced. I love how Edgar was like, got my workout in. We were like, yes, let us celebrate with you. And that comes from playing full out. Mike said that. I just want to continue to drive home what he said. Play full out while you're here. What do you have to lose? You're here for 5 days with us, right? We're going to give you the bonus day. We're going to give you some extra bonus stuff. You're here to play full out. You're not here to like be a wuss or a wimp. Like be in a community right now, guys, where people are going to be like, you're awesome. Keep going. That's amazing. You don't get that in your normal everyday life. So if you're not taking advantage of this, you're crazy, because we are here to celebrate you. There's no judging. There's no talking. It's like, come on, like, let's go and up level. We said that in the beginning yesterday, right? Our why is we want to help other couples achieve what we've achieved and continue to achieve. And we don't do that by you guys being silent. So post your victories. Don't feel weird about it. And then also, if you'd like to share your legend and your dead end names in the group, go ahead and drop those in. Just differentiate for us. We'll probably be able to figure it out, with names like Angry Mike or Drunker Donna or Sieb, we'll kind of know what they are, but just write legend, semicolon, post that, dead end, post that. You could do it right below the video at school. We love to see those. And that helps us too, as coaches and mentors, guys, to call you out and be like, hey, Caitlin, you didn't do your workout this week. Like which one are we showing up as today? And we all need that little bit of like a kick in the butt, some accountability. It's always from a place of love, right? We operate from love and above here and in everything we do in our life. And so we want you guys to really be engaged and involved in the group.
Build that momentum, guys. Build that momentum, because you're going to need it. Because guess what? When you leave this group and you're out in the rest of the world is trying to stop your momentum. They may not be doing it intentionally, but it's going to happen. You're not going to be around people who are bringing this kind of energy with you. So with that being said, guys, build the momentum here so that it carries you through the tough times.
That's it. Oh, it's so true. Anytime we come off a coaching event, we're like on the high, and then we get on the airplane and we're like, wow, nobody's really very happy here. Everybody looks kind of miserable. They kind of look like they want to kill us right now because we're so happy. Like, we want that to be you guys. We want to give that to you as a gift that you can go into your everyday life knowing that people are here pouring into you, wanting to motivate you, inspire you. And like you said it perfectly, momentum. Like, don't lose that. When you stop momentum, you got to start all over again, right? Don't start all over again. Just keep on going, keep on going, keep on going. And you are going to have a hard moment. You are going to want to slip up or trip up or say something you didn't mean. Like own it, right? Like, oh my gosh, there was something yesterday where I was like, hey, Mike, like, I didn't appreciate when you, and he was like, you got it. That was not us 10 years ago. We would have been like, rah, right?
My ego would have gotten in the way real quick. Ego is your biggest overhead, right?
An offense is like everything. I was offended by everything. He joked with me and I'd be like, get over it. All right. Momentum, keep the momentum. It's amazing. It's awesome. Continue to use the well and the cup, right, ladies? Honey, I need to empty my cup. All right. I'm all yours, right? I'm going to ask you a question. I'm going to zip my lip, let you go to the well and retrieve that amazing answer. It's always so much better than our answer. We just never wait for it. So we're going to learn this together. We can't wait to see you guys on the workout and have an outstanding evening.
Take care, guys.
Woo!